This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Lock her up. That's right. That's right. Lock her up.
The man who led the chant, "Lock her up," booked and fingerprinted as he pleads guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia. Retired General Michael Flynn reaches a deal with the special counsel to possibly testify against the president and members of his family. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll have more on the week in Washington in a bit, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin tonight with a disturbing story about just how cruel and inhuman some people treat their pets. A Northport man is accused of torturing his dog. 62-year-old Roman Skraba allegedly beat the dog and shot it in the head with a BB gun on Saturday at his home on Cheeseboro Avenue. Police say the injuries were so severe the dog Fluffy did not survive. Skraba is charged with 1 felony count of animal abuse, causing cruel death, pain, and suffering.
It pains me, first of all. I mean, I feel for the animal. I mean, my dog, I'm a big lover of dogs, and they need to be treated with respect, kindness.
Which is really hard to tell, generally speaking.
Bars at the Sarasota County Jail, where his bond has been set at $1,500. You'll recall on last night's show, we reported on some Suncoast students who are being charged with felonies. Today, an investigation at a middle school student bringing a stun gun to school and using it on other students. Bradenton police were called to Sugg Middle School after the student used the stun gun on several students. The students who were tased were not seriously injured. The Manatee County School District is calling this a serious issue that will be handled in accordance with the school's Code of Student Conduct. The McDonald's manager who tipped off Tampa police about the accused Tampa serial killer will receive the full reward. Today, Tampa Police Chief Brian Duggan said Delonda Walker will receive every penny of the $110,000 reward. Her tip to police on Tuesday led to the arrest of 24-year-old Howell Donaldson. Donaldson is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. In the statement, Walker said getting a reward never entered her mind. She said she simply wanted to do the right thing. The Sarasota Holiday Parade is tomorrow, and there will be some road closures to be aware of. The parade will begin at Main and US 301 in downtown Sarasota and will end at J.D. Hamill Park on Main Street and Gulfstream Avenue. There will be several vehicle tow-away zones and street closures. Organizers expect about 4,000 participants and 10,000 spectators. Governor Rick Scott is calling embattled State Senator Jack Latvala a distraction, a move that could put pressure on the powerful Republican to resign. Latvala has been accused by 6 women of groping or making demeaning comments about their bodies. Latvala has denied the allegations, but this week one of his anonymous accusers went public. Rachel Perrin Rogers is a top aide to Senate Majority Leader Wilton Simpson, and her husband is a prominent GOP consultant. 'Tis the season of giving, and Floridians give billions of dollars to thousands of charitable organizations each year. It can be tough to tell which organizations actually use the money for services they advertise versus those who mainly spend donations on salaries and overhead, and others that are outright scams.
Always be cautious. There's some sources out there. You can go to charitynavigator.org. You can call our office to see if a charity has complaints filed against it. So just do your research, be careful, make sure your money is going to help those who need it most.
You can download the Consumer Protection Guide free online by going to www.myfloridalegal.com. In less than an hour, the Venice High School football team will take on the reigning state champion St. Thomas Aquinas for a shot at this year's state title game. ABC7's Adam Cellini has more from Venice High School to tell us why this is a special game for the Indians. Adam.
Well, Alan, the Raiders beat Venice last year in this very game. 46-8 was the final score, and right afterwards, head coach John Peacock made a promise to himself. He set out to put together one of the most difficult regular season football schedules in the state of Florida, including out-of-district games against teams like Manatee, Riverview, Plant High School, who was in the state championship last year, and the #1 team in the country, IMG Academy, right here out of Bradenton. It ended up being their only loss of the season against the Ascenders, but John Peacock says it gave his boys a lot of confidence, and he's hoping that will be the difference in this game tonight.
When I was leaving there, I just made notes and just thought about, what could I possibly do to prepare us better for that? Because, obviously our ultimate goal is to win a state championship, and it's pretty clear that it runs through St. Thomas. And
that was really important to play the #1 team in the country and see what we can do, and we know we can compete at that level. So, I know we're going to come out with our heads on fire, and we're going to fly around to the ball.
And Alan, St. Thomas Aquinas has dominated the Suncoast as well. They are 13-3 against our area teams all time. But if Venice can hand them their 4th loss, they will be on their way to the state championship game in Orlando. We'll bring you the full highlights coming up later on tonight at 11. For now, in Venice, I'm Adam Cellini. Back to you.
Adam, thank you. Now let's head over to ABC7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who is at St. Armand's Circle with the first alert forecast. Bob.
Well, we are here at St. Armand's Circle, where they lit up the big tree with Holiday Night of Lights, kickoff to the season right here on the Circle, and you couldn't ask for better weather. Right now, we have fair skies and 73 degrees. The dew point is at 62, which is comfortable, and winds are out of the north at 5. Now, there's a little rain to the north of us, not much. It's associated with a weak frontal system, which is fading away for the most part, and won't move through here. It'll stay pretty quiet here. High pressure will build in behind it. Should make for a delightful weekend. Temperatures up and down the coast in the low 70s, and even inland now. 71 in Arcadia, 73 at Mayaca City, and 72 in Venice. The Gulf temperature not being reported right now, but last check it was 71, taking on the end of the Venice Pier. Well, the water vapor imagery not showing any moisture around. Things are all quiet here and should stay that way too into the future. Now, as far as the temperatures go, we are expecting lows to drop down into the low 60s, and we may see, by the way, some fog forming. I think that's the biggest concern, but great weather for football Friday night for this evening. You can see the big tree lit up behind me. A lot of people are here. Santa Claus is here, and a lot of the kids. Wave hi, everybody. You're on TV. Hi. Happy holidays to Minnesota Beach. He loves it when we say Minnesota Beach. Alan, back to you.
Thanks, Bob. Still to come, Michael Flynn's guilty plea, the GOP tax bill, the Democratic primary for District 72 here in Sarasota. Lots to talk about at the Trapezoid.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Attention blood thinner users. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
New charges in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 campaign. President Trump's former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn charged with lying to federal investigators. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest developments from Washington.
Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, part of Donald Trump's inner circle, in court today, pleading guilty to lying to the FBI and promising full cooperation with the special counsel. A confidant of Flynn tells ABC News Flynn said he's prepared to testify that as a candidate, Donald Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians, initially to coordinate the fight against ISIS in Syria.
My hope is that General Flynn will tell everything he knows and tell why he was having these contacts with Russians, who directed these contacts.
The charge stems from his contacts with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak in December 2016. On December 28th, the Obama administration imposed sanctions on Russia for their election meddling. In court, prosecutors said, and Flynn confirmed, after being contacted by Kislyak the next day, Flynn coordinated with a senior official and other transition officials at Mar-a-Lago to discuss what, if anything, to communicate to the Russian ambassador about U.S. sanctions. Flynn says the transition team did not want Russia to escalate the situation, and he immediately called the Russian ambassador with that message. 2 days later, Russia announced it would not issue retaliatory sanctions. That same day, President-elect Trump tweeted, "Great move on delay by V. Putin. I always knew he was very smart."
There appears to be a lot of evidence that people around the president have had interactions with the Russians.
In a statement, the White House said the false statements involved mirror the false statements to White House officials, which resulted in his resignation in February of this year. And they added nothing about the guilty plea or the charge implicates anyone other than Mr. Flynn. Flynn faces up to 5 years in prison, leaving the court lock him up, facing the same chance he once led against Hillary Clinton during the RNC convention. A close confidant of Michael Flynn tells ABC News that he grew increasingly concerned about crippling legal fees and felt abandoned by the president in recent weeks. He only told people in the past 24 hours that he planned to take the plea deal. Serena Marshall, ABC News, outside the U.S. District Court in Washington.
When we come back, the trapezoid and reaction from some of the most respected and articulate members of the Sarasota Republican and Democratic parties.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today.
Call 800-457-2317.
Go online or visit a Target store today.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back. How you feel about the Russia investigation largely depends upon whether you like the president or not. We get that. And there's a whole lot to talk about in terms of what happened this week, including hopes of tax reform, and we will get to that. But today, President Trump's former national security advisor pled guilty to lying to the FBI, and it's no small thing. Why? What's significant isn't that Michael Flynn pled guilty to a single felony charge. It's that Flynn escaped what could have been a boatload of charges connected to his overseas business dealings in exchange for cooperating with the special counsel. What could that cooperation be? ABC News is reporting Michael Flynn is willing to testify during the presidential campaign. Candidate Donald Trump directed him to contact and talk to the Russians, and that he is willing to testify against the president and members of the president's family. And joining us for more is Rod Thompson, the president of the Sarasota Republican Club, and Kevin Griffith, the vice chairman of the Sarasota Democratic Party. You people know, Kevin, that you are a defense attorney here in Sarasota. So let me start by asking you, a lot of people have said to me today, one single charge of lying to the FBI, that's not good, but it's not a lot, considering what we have heard over the last few months about all the things that the feds could be bringing against Michael Flynn. So what does this say to you?
Well, it's important for people to know that when you have a plea bargain, you have different sides. You have the DOJ, the Department of Justice, they're the prosecutors. You have the defendant and the defense attorney, and you have the judge. A plea bargain means that there's been an agreement between the prosecutor and the defendant about something going on that case. In this instance, and it's important to remember, the judge is not part of that plea bargain. And in the state of Florida, the judge is not required to accept that plea bargain. And so, I haven't read the terms of the Flynn case here, but what it's likely to mean is that that he's agreed with the Department of Justice to do something, his statements and his testimony, in exchange for them saying to the judge, give him a more lenient sentence.
But it doesn't mean necessarily that through all the year-plus of investigation, all they got Flynn on is a single count of 4 instances of lying to the FBI.
Well, again, they have to do the analysis of whether not only is there evidence, but can they prove the case beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. So there may have been some evidence on some of those other topics, but they may have felt, well, if we can get him and prove this case on the lying to the FBI, we can use him to pursue other people in the administration.
I know you haven't had a chance to read the pleadings in the case, but there were stipulations that Flynn will now cooperate with the special counsel's office, including testifying against his former colleagues at the White House and in the campaign. Considering who Michael Flynn is and what he may or may not know, how significant is this?
Well, it's very significant, because what it's likely to say is that there are other people within the White House and the administration who have committed some sort of crime.
Rod, we're going to show you something from the convention, which is really kind of come back and appears ironic. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that's right. Lock her up. If I did a tenth of what she did, I would be in jail today.
So today, just over a year after that took place, it is Michael Flynn who is facing a felony count and is in significant legal trouble. You know, how do area Republicans look at this? Because we've been talking about what is this all about for a long time now. You can't say that, you know, he was a minor player in the campaign or a minor player in the White House. So what are folks like yourself thinking?
A couple thoughts. Number one is that I've said on your show actually a number of times that I thought that Manafort and Flynn were both in trouble. Manafort I thought was kind of dirty all along. As soon as Trump figured that out, he fired him, didn't vet him adequately. Flynn, a little bit more complicated character as a general and decorated and all, but very worrisome because of some of the things it sounds like he did and not registering as an agent to Turkey and these sorts of things. This became sort of worrisome about what sort of leverage you could have on him. So far, the two that I thought all along were in trouble seem to be in trouble. I am not sure that, although it's said with great gravity and seriousness that Trump asked him to reach out to Russians, that there's anything wrong with that. Nothing illegal, certainly, with their reaching out. I don't think there's anything wrong, because my understanding is that campaigns, the two major campaigns, reach out to foreign countries all the time while they're forming their policies and their planks, figuring out what they can promise to do and not promise to do. Of course they would want their own trusted emissaries reaching out to major other countries to find out where things stand, how they might be able to work with them once in office. There's nothing illegal about that. The problem would be is the content of those conversations. If there was a promised quid pro quo, all right, the Russians will do their bots and whatnot and try and help Trump win in return for something, that of course could be a problem. But just reaching out clearly is not.
But here's the question. Would the special counsel plea bargain this case and offer a plea or a deal to General Flynn if not for the fact that when you are in a situation like that, you have to proffer to the prosecutor what you are willing to testify to? So the special counsel would be aware of the information that General Flynn has.
Presumably, they would be aware of the topic of the information. I mean, I am not a lawyer. I have never been involved with this sort of thing on the inside of it at all. I don't know how detailed it would be. It seems to me if Flynn was very detailed about it, he would lose a lot of leverage with what he could get in a plea bargain. So I don't know how that would work. That needs to be played out. There might be problems. I still say that now, after a year, after what we've seen here with the Manafort and a couple other small players and with Flynn, I'm still not sure that we see anything like actual collusion, which in itself is not a crime.
Let me just step in. Paul Manafort was the campaign chairman at one point, and Michael Flynn was national security advisor. Those aren't small players. Those are major players. And if you go back just to the legal aspect real quick, like I said, the judge is not party to the plea bargain. The judge does not have to accept the plea bargain. The judge knows that at this point, Michael Flynn has pled guilty, and he can be sentenced up to 5 years against the recommendation of the attorney's office.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but we are going to talk about this some more, and also the tax reform package still before the Senate. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Bobeth Yates for Hot Topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC7.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
We are talking about the week in Washington, and joining us for more is Rod Thompson, president of the Sarasota Republican Club, and Kevin Griffith, the vice chair of the Sarasota Democratic Party. And there's a lot we want to get to, but let's wrap up our discussion about the Flynn case, because this is a pretty big day in the course of this investigation. And Rod, let me start with you, and I know you want to talk about the pressure that General Flynn was on, but for so many months now, the president has been saying there were no discussions with the Russians. He knows nothing about about those discussions. Now it appears that the president's top closest advisor on national security in the White House for the first month and during the campaign was talking to the Russians well before he took office.
Apparently is the correct word there, because we still don't know. These are reports out there. So that's certainly possible. That he was. It's possible Trump didn't know. It's possible Trump directed him to. I don't remember Trump's wording about whether he ever knew about conversations or knew about collusion or not. It doesn't really matter, because he wouldn't be careful with his wording anyway. But one of my great concerns, and I think you know this, with the special counsel law, going back to Ken Starr, same thing, Ken Starr went on fishing expeditions too, is that the special counsel can go indefinitely. They have indefinite resources, and when they're going after a person that doesn't, say, have Trump's wealth personally, they push them to the point of bankruptcy. Just today, Flynn, if I was found out that Flynn was at the point of having to sell his house to keep paying for his legal bills, this strikes me as a deeply unfair situation for Americans to be under. I realize we want to get to the truth, but there has to be better ways than the special counsel law.
Well, it does bring the irony up again with General Flynn leading the chant at the convention, "Lock her up." It kind of raises the question of, be careful what you're saying about others, lest you be in a situation like that a little bit later. But I also want to ask you both about this other story that came out regarding Russia this week, that over the summer, President Trump repeatedly urged Senate Republicans, including the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, to end the investigation and let it go.
Well, I mean, I think that's a problem, because if it's not President Trump sticking his the finger on the scale of the investigation, then it's coming very, very close. And that's the problem with President Trump on many, many issues.
Rod?
It wouldn't surprise me if he would do that. He would see that as perfectly appropriate, probably.
Do you?
Not necessarily. Not ideally, no. However, we are in such an incredibly non-ideal situation in Washington, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the tax bill. As we speak, Senate Republicans are still trying to get this onto the Senate floor. I mean, there have been more twists and turns in this. And Rod, the polling shows that this bill is incredibly unpopular with Americans, and that all reports from the Congressional Budget Office and so forth shows it's going to add over $1 trillion to the national debt. And that many Americans who make below a certain amount of money will, in the end, wind up paying more money in their taxes in years to come.
Okay, so the last part I don't think is accurate. The first two parts I think are not totally relevant. That will add $1 trillion in debt. I read this story today about the conservative Democrats who are concerned about the $1 trillion debt, and I about fell out of my chair laughing, because these are the same people that voted for Obamacare, for the stimulus, for everything else that added $10 trillion of debt under Obama. But now suddenly, when Republicans are talking about tax reform and a tax package that could give breaks across the board and make American companies competitive again, suddenly they discovered there's a debt to be concerned about.
Conversely to that, though, there are a lot of Republicans, including Vern Buchanan, who has led the charge to balance the budget for many, many years, and now you are voting for a bill that would possibly add $1 trillion to the debt.
Well, I think the problem there, though, Vern has been a consistent deficit hawk, correct. The problem is that the way the CBO is required to score the budget proposals, tax proposals such as this, it means that they can't really take that dynamic approach that shows how much it could goose the economy and help revenues in that respect.
Kevin, can all Democrats do at this point is sit and basically bang the table? I really don't hear a cohesive message coming out of congressional Democrats in the House or Senate in terms of making the case against this bill.
Here's the problem. This bill is pretty much par for the course for the Republicans. If you take a step back and you look at George Bush back in 2000, they passed a tax cut. Then we have the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, which add trillions of dollars to the debt. President Obama gets elected, comes in, has 8 years. Finally, the economy's back on track, had, I believe, 80-plus months of positive growth. And now we're back to the Republicans, who always claim to run on fiscal discipline, yet they're adding $1 trillion to the debt. And just so the people at home know, this is what I've, from reading about the tax plan. The argument that the Republicans are putting forward is this. They are saying that they believe the tax cuts will stimulate the growth in the economy, and that extra growth in the economy will make up for the tax cuts. Here's the problem. The congressional, not the CBO, but one of the congressional committees came out today and said, even if that happens, what they're claiming happens, we still add $1 trillion to the deficit. So even if what the Republicans believe will happen happens, we still add to the debt.
Over what period of time is this $1 trillion deficit? It's not in 1 year, right?
10.
So it's over 10 years. That's 100 billion years. It's interesting to me that we put it over 10 because you really maximize the number. Under Obama, we had more than $1 trillion debt 2 different individual years.
Yes,
I'm sorry, it really rings empty with the Democrats here.
But what Obama was forced to do was pay back for George Bush's unpaid wars and the tax cut that was given in 2000 and 2001.
And his $900 billion stimulus package.
A stimulus package which put people to work in infrastructure jobs around the country. If you go back and look at the research, infrastructure pays itself $7 to 1.
In the time we have left in this segment, I want to ask both you again, there is already talk that assuming this bill passes into law, there may be looks at cutting Medicare and other entitlement programs. How would that play, Rod?
All of that is always bad politics. Here's how it will play, I guarantee you. Every time the Republicans, the party of responsibility, talks about entitlement reform, talks about doing something that's sustainable going forward, the Democrats run ads about pushing grandma off a bridge and making her eat dog food, and that will happen again. That's exactly how that will play politically.
And I want to give you the final word here.
This is what I've read about this bill. Both businesses and individuals get tax cuts in the beginning. As we get out to 2027, the middle class and the individuals, their taxes go up. The businesses, their cuts stay.
All right,
That's not fair.
We're going to have to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
We're going to take a break from talking about what's happening in Washington and talk about what's happening here in the Sarasota area on the Suncoast with the special election to fill Alex Miller's House seat in District 72. The Democratic primary is next Tuesday, and then after that we're off on the general election. And first, let me ask the both of you how this is shaping up, because these special elections around Florida have been used almost as reading tea leaves in terms of how the environment is affecting local races. Rod, what are you looking at?
Yeah, well, I think political people love to do that. I'm not sure how much we can read from each one of these individually because they're all so different. I think in this particular race, the district is +4 to 5 Republicans, so that's pretty close. It's a special election, which generally the Republican turnout is a little bit higher percentage than the Democrat. However, it's a special election with the Trump factor involved, so we don't know, what that could be. And you have a Democrat primary, so you might have extra Democrat, excitement about it. I think it could be a very, very close race, actually. And I feel like that the Republicans cannot take this seat for granted at all, and we'd be foolish to.
And I know there's a limitation since you are the party vice chair in terms of talking about the two candidates, but this has been a hotly contested Democratic primary.
It has, but I couldn't be prouder of both the women running because, first of all, the contention's been on policy, and that's really what the voters want. There's 40,000 plus registered Democrats in District 72. I encourage all of them to come out on Tuesday and vote. But again, whichever Democratic nominee comes out after Tuesday, they're going to be very strong. We're going to be united, and we're going to finally have Democratic representation.
But it hasn't been totally about policy. The biggest single issue that has come up during this primary campaign is the fact that last week, Margaret Good, who has raised an impressive amount of money, turned down the debate on this broadcast against her opponent, Ruta Giuliani. And after that happened, James Buchanan, who is the Republican running, said that he will not take part in forums in the general election. I think that's pathetic.
Well, again, let me just so the audience knows, my role, I'm the vice chairman of the Sarasota County Democratic Party. I am very sensitive in the primary to both candidates and the electorate, knowing that we are running a very fair election. And so that's the number one important to me. So I'm not going to be able to comment on what campaigns decide to do and not decide to do.
Right, but I did
talk to me on Wednesday, and we have a nominee. Then I'll come back and I'll make those comments. I did ask
Margaret Good, how do you make the case to James Buchanan that you need to debate me if she wins the primary? If he could say, well, you didn't debate your primary.
Well, one thing I can say is throughout this campaign, this Democratic primary, I've personally been at 3 events where I introduced both candidates to the forum of people there. Some were as small as 20 or 25, some were as big as 100 or 150.
That's not the same as a stage like this.
I understand.
And Rod, let me ask you this. How can James Buchanan say, I will not participate in any sort of debate?
So I think what you see here is a not uncommon sort of tactic that's taken, and that's, you know, with Margaret Good doing it, with James doing it, that the candidate that has a lot more resources in a race feels there's more risk in a debate. I'm not saying that I agree with that. I like full policy debate. I like principled debate. But as a campaign tactic, you see that more and more common out there.
Okay, we have to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
And our guests join us right now for final thoughts. And let's go back to our top story of the day, because it really is, whatever side you're on, it's a momentous day in the investigation into this Russia situation. The specter of the former National Security Advisor pleading guilty to a felony with everything that may come from that. Rod, what is your biggest concern?
Well, my biggest concern is that there will actually have been a conspiracy within the Trump campaign, which would be really, really bad. I don't actually think that's the case, but that would be my biggest concern. I think, though, that there's a lot of other really good things going on in the country that we just can't focus on. Part of it is the media, part of it is Trump. You know, always redirecting to the wrong things, I feel like. But the economy is going really well. Deregulation is helping a lot. You have the GDP is above expectations. Our unemployment is at the lowest that it's been in 17 years. There's so much good that is actually going on, but my gosh, all we get is bad Trump all the time, and we don't get to see good Trump because it's a mixed bag.
Well, put that into perspective, Kevin, because, you know, I do have friends who say, look, my 401k is doing pretty darn good these days, and all you are talking about is Russia, Russia, Russia.
Well, Rod and Alan, you just made the point for why we don't need tax cuts. If everything's going so well right now, why do the rich in America need more? Why do we need those tax cuts if things are growing so well now? And I just want to make a point for the people at home. You know, part of this includes the estate tax, which means if you have over $11.5 million to pass
on. I figured 2 guests and 4 blocks of conversation would be enough, and it was not. but thank you both. Before we go, we want to share with you what some of you had to say about last night's show on felons in schools. A few weeks ago, a teenager was arrested for allegedly having a gun on a school bus. That same student has a previous felony conviction. A different student is being charged with a felony after threatening a post on social media. We went to Facebook to ask you if you thought that the schools should make students and parents aware when students are convicted felons. And Laura says the students need to be protected. They should be told. They need to be made aware so they can be careful around the school. Tamara says, are we told when there are felons walking around us at our jobs? No, I really don't think it's anyone's business, mainly because people are so quick to judge someone based off of what could have been a mistake, one-time mistake. And Lori says we need to know if someone coming in contact with our kids have been convicted of violent crimes or sexual assault, even if it's a classmate. Well, if you'd like to join the conversation on tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/mysuncoast.com.abc7. And FYI, you can watch past discussions on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. And for the latest on the parade and the local breaking news, don't forget to download our updated version of our app. If you have a current app and it doesn't work, that's because it is expired. Just go to the App Store and re-download it by searching for WWSB or My Suncoast. We want to thank both our guests for being here tonight. Rod Thompson is the president of the Sarasota Republican Club, and Kevin Griffith is the vice chair of the Sarasota Democratic Party. When we return, we'll have a final look at your first alert weather, plus an update on the GOP tax plan. Stay with us.
Describe a battery or bulb, and Batteries Plus bulbs will have it. Tell us what's broken on your smartphone, and we'll fix it.
I need a new battery for my phone.
And a new screen.
What did you do?
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific. They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC7. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, I got to tell you, what a great night it is out here at St. Armand's Circle for the Holiday Night of Lights, lighting up this big tree that you see right there, indicating the kickoff to the holiday season. It's been going on for 39 years. And some of the kids having a chance to go see Santa, and they were singing earlier tonight as well, doing a great job. You guys having a good time? Yeah, they sure are. That's what it's all about. You know, we don't have the snow to get us in the season. We have all these great events, and on top of that, we have a big event tomorrow in Sarasota with the holiday parade going down Main Street. That's always a a well-attended event. We hope to see you out there. ABC7 will be well represented in that. Well, let's go to the maps to show you what's been going on, at least the graphics. This is the Van Wezel webcam, and we'll take you through time this afternoon. Beautiful out there, just a few clouds now and again, not much in terms of clouds, and the sun has set and things are starting to be quite nice out here. Comfortable temperatures up and down the coast. We have a few showers to the north of us, not a lot, but just a few associated with a weak frontal system, which is weakening as it dissipates right now. And we are looking for the possibility of another stronger front coming down next week, which will put us into winter-like temperatures. But until then, enjoy, folks. Currently, it's clear. It's 73. We have a dew point at 62, and winds are out of the north at 5. The pressure way up there, 30.08 inches, and 83 degrees right now. That was the high today. A few degrees shy of the record 88 set back in 1991. This morning's low was warm at 60, and it looks as though we will see little chance for rain over the weekend and beyond. But now that front coming down next week will bring a chance for a few showers, but not a real big chance. Temperatures up and down the coast now low 70s for the most part. Longboat Key 71, Lido at 71 degrees now, 74 at Lake Sarasota, and 74 now at Plantation in Venice. Venice, you're at 72, and 73 in Northport. Well, the hourly forecast is calling for high temperatures to warm above average again tomorrow. Upper 70s to low 80s inland, and right around 80 degrees at area beaches with plenty of sunshine. Now, there will be some fog in the morning. That fog could be rather thick at times, but that fog should burn off pretty quickly. And then that front moving down from the north will just kind of hang around for a while and eventually fizzle out. You can see some of the showers and clouds well to the north of us, but nothing going on here. Just gorgeous a weekend expected right on into early next week. Well, there's a storm system over the northern plains, but the story of this fall has been a pretty tranquil fall so far. Not much going on weather-wise. A few showers and snow showers up near Minneapolis and over northern Minnesota, and then another storm system out west into Washington and Oregon, bringing some rainfall mainly into the coast of northern California over the weekend. Temperatures currently not terribly cold, but cool. 40 in Cleveland, 46 in Boston, 39 in Toronto, 70. These are current temperatures right now, 70 in Dallas. Highs tomorrow will warm into the low 80s here, 40s and 50s over the Great Lakes and throughout the Northeast. And that's the way it stands. And the 7-day forecast shapes up like this. Temperatures above average, upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And then the cold front moves through Thursday morning. Windy, cool conditions, and a 40% chance for showers, 20% chance on Friday with a high of only 64 degrees. So a great night tonight. It'll be great tomorrow night as well for the parade in Sarasota. Hope to see you there. Alan will be back with primetime headlines right after this.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veterans Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Checking primetime headlines, we expected the big story today would be tax reform, but the Senate still has not voted. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
Senate Republicans are closing in on a victory.
The fact that we would be sitting here talking about even the possibility of a unanimous vote, we're close.
After intense back-and-forth negotiations all week, the party's lawmakers appear to have a deal, hovering above the 50 votes needed to pass the GOP's new tax plan without any yeas from the Democrats.
I believe it will help the economy. I think it's going to help a lot of working people. Most people are going to benefit from it. Perhaps not everybody, but most people.
Dubbed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the plan includes a huge tax cut for big corporations. Republicans say the benefits will trickle down and ultimately help the middle class. But Democrats are loudly objecting.
They said it was going to lower taxes for the middle class. Well, it won't. They claim it's going to create jobs. Experts tell us the exact opposite. And they're once again telling families to place their faith in tired, trickle-down economic theories, and we have seen how that works. It doesn't.
Nonpartisan agencies say the bill will add to America's already sizable debt. Their analysis has also found that the bill will likely give big tax breaks to those earning more than $100,000 a year, while most Americans earning less than $75,000 a year are estimated to pay more in the next 10 years. The tax bill still needs to get approval from the House, where it most likely will face another battle. But still, Republicans say they're committed to getting it passed before Christmas. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Residents of Hawaii are about to hear a warning siren not used since the days of the Cold War. Officials are resuming monthly testing of the statewide nuclear warning siren system in the wake of renewed tensions between the U.S. and North Korea. The system is designed to give residents 12 to 15 minutes to seek shelter ahead of a missile strike. Legislators in Hawaii are also pushing to reopen nuclear fallout shelters. Concerns now Obamacare enrollment could fall short in 2018 because of the Trump administration's decision to cut off open enrollment. Nearly 2.8 million people have already signed up on the federal exchange so far. That's about 700,000 more than the same time last year. But the Trump administration has cut off the open enrollment period short and now ends on December 15th instead of the end of January, although some state-based exchanges have extended the period to as late as January 30th. The program's advertising budget was also slashed by 90%. 92.2 million people used the exchange last year. And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.